Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Hello farmers, welcome back to Mercury Farms. We're in our Dude's Far. We're getting ready to cut some grass, make some hay. Got our T8 over here. I arrived last night with $1,000 in the bank account for Mercury Farms because the rest of it went to the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, overnight and a little bit this morning, thanks to property income, we are up to $23,000. This morning, I pretty much took care of our greenhouses and our orchards. They were kind of low on manure, so I filled them with water, manure. Been doing that. Then I went up and sprayed our sugar beet field. It had weeds in it, stage 2 weeds, so I had to come up with a sprayer. Found out the hard way. I brought up the weeder and had to come back, and then I brought up the fertilizer spreader to realize, yeah, it's already got second stage on it. These two fields here are ready for harvest, which are corn and oats. And this field right here is soybeans is ready. These fields here have a stage of fertilization on it from a manure spreader. They're just waiting to be seeded. And this field here, well, there's nothing, it's just bare, empty. But we need some hay, because I have none. I did activate the Global Company mod on here, so yeah, get used to the symbols. I do like them. It just takes a second to get used to them. So yeah, so we're down to 17,000 liters. Now, not knowing exactly when we're leaving Mercury Farms, I mean, I need hay to make total mix rations, but we just fed off our cows, so they're good for a while. So I think what we're going to do, because we have loads of silage, we got plenty of straw. I can put the hay in here. I just won't put the silage in here until I need to make total mix rations. That way I can put the hay in here, and I can always take it back out to feed our sheep when needed. But our grass fields are sitting here, and if you remember, we had all the trees in here last time we did it. Now there's no trees, so it should be a lot easier. So I want to go ahead and make some hay, first of all, and then we're going to go down to our big livestock market field. The Toots Far is going to inject some digestate in the field, while the T8 is basically going to be doing some seeding around. So let's go ahead. We're going to get this guy started up. Turn him on. Follow me. 30 should be good. That is down, right? Yes, it is. All right. No, I had you running. You were fine. Let's go ahead and unload our tedder. Yeah, it's getting to be very close to where we're leaving Mercury Farm, so there are some fields I may not reseed, like the sugar beet field. When it comes time to harvest that, I may not do that field at all. I may just leave it there. Let's go ahead and turn that on. We'll lower that, and then this one here, lower that down. Yeah, the butterfly mower, when you got them on the front, there's a lot of buttons, everything going to do. Plenty of horsepower here today with the Deuce Fire and the T8, so we should have no problem zipping through this to make some hay. And with no trees in the way, it should be a lot easier to maneuver around. Don't have to zigzag, so I can just kind of go up and around. So that's pretty much our plan for this morning, early afternoon. We'll see how far we gets us at least. Then next episode, you know, the T8 can probably get to seeding the big livestock market field. With what, I don't know. Like I said, right now Mercury Farms is kind of on a let's see what the day brings us kind of a thing. Because I really need to figure out the ending for this when it comes time to sell it. Like I said, we're going to be selling off this farm, bringing the money over to the Pacific Northwest, and I'll be starting a new series sometime very soon on seasons. That's where a tree used to be. So this is probably the last time we actually mow this field, because I don't think I'm going to need it again. At least I don't think I'm going to need it again for anything. But I'm not going to sell anything off until the series is done, because nothing worse than selling it off, saying, "No, I'm not going to need it again," and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I need that piece of equipment back for whatever reason. Oh, and I probably should mention, if you happen to hear any thunder in the background, yeah, there's thunderstorms rolling through my area, so... And of course, I got the window open right next to me, so if we get any close lightning strikes, that should be interesting. But, just let you know that, so... Yeah, there's no thunderstorms rolling in on the farming simulator just yet. Just trying to be careful that my tedder does not get over to our windrow already. But even though we just cut this grass not long ago because we bought more cows, we made some more total mix rations. Yeah, we're getting kind of low on the hay. I think I got enough probably to feed my sheep like 3/4 full, so it's better to have some around than not. And yeah, if we get too much, then it's not much of a problem because we can always sell it. I always like that. Now, the reason why it does it there, because I think that's where the sheep pasture would be if you played on New Farmer. So I guess by going over to Expert Farmer or whatever title that is, with no pastures down, I think the game still kind of recognizes that there might be a placeable there. Have no idea. Let's hopefully we can make some money this week before we go back to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, leaving the Pacific Northwest felt kind of weird for some reason. I felt like I had a lot of unfinished jobs there. I mean, you always got unfinished jobs on a farm, but I felt like I was leaving things half done, if that makes sense. And I don't know why. I just, all of our fields are pretty much going to be ready for harvest when we get back, it looks like. So maybe it's just the thought of that when I get back, of like, it's just all just going to be sitting there waiting for us. But I don't see us getting up to $500,000 before we go back this time. So I'll have to see how it goes. So any extra money I think probably this week we make, when we go back, it may just go off just to paying off the loan. Now, unless I can get up to $400,000, which I don't think we will, that would be for probably the field down by the cotton fields. So I can start merging those together. More cotton, the better. Yeah, I'm hoping when we get back to the Pacific Northwest, that silage price at the barn goes up, because I got those bales just sitting in the field. Those will have to be removed before, obviously. And funny enough, I got to make hay on that map as well. And I can't transfer hay from this map over to that map. That's just way too far. And of course, it's not cost effective to do that when you got a grass field already sitting there. So, yeah, next week in the Pacific, or this week on the Pacific Northwest, we'll have to cut the grass. But I need to focus on this map for this week, which is definitely get that livestock market field flipped over. I can't have a big field like that sitting fallow for too long. But we'll just rip right through these grass fields here, and then, like I said, we're going to take this Dutes Fire on down. He's going to start injecting the livestock market field with some digestate, and I'll get the TE8 up and going. He will do those 2 smaller fields that we spread the manure on last week. And then when he gets done with those, yeah, he can come right over to the livestock market field and start seeding that as soon as possible. With what? I don't know. We just did sunflowers, and of course before that was sugar beet. I'm kind of leading towards canola. Yeah, I think canola might be the way to go. Okay, this could be a problem, Houston. What's going to happen here, folks? Yep, point. Well, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it could. Could have been a lot worse. You need to plan that out a little bit better next time. I need to wait for the T8, because with Follow Me, if you get so many points, set points, wave points ahead of them, he'll lose track of where you are, and yeah, for some reason he shuts off because, well, he's an idiot. Not the smoothest of jobs of mowing, but you know what? It'll work out just fine when we get the loading wagon up here. And what I'll probably do when the T8 is seeding the livestock market field, I'll probably come up here with the Deuce Fire, and we'll bring the loading wagon on up and pick up the hay and put it in the Total Mix Rations mixer. And like I said, I'm not going to put no silage in there. That way it won't mix it. We don't need to mix it until we need it. And yeah, for the cows, we don't need it for at least 8 or 9 days or so. And I would hate to make all that Total Mix Rations mixture and then go ahead and sell the farm. Be easier if I just... Yeah, he's behind me. Yeah, it'd just be easier if I just wait. Well, I say it's good enough for the grass field to be done. I was going to go back up. I figured that I could just get in the T8's way. I don't know whose bright idea it was to go ahead and leave that tree up there, but that was probably not the best idea to have. Actually, I got a little bit of grass there. There we go. Alright, Shift and F? There we go. Yeah, he's fired. Alright, which implement am I on? I'm on that implement. Alright, you can fold up. And then you can fold up as well. And then you can fold up as well. There, we'll let that grass slash hay kind of sit there, and I mean, it already is hay, but we'll just pretend that it needs to dry out a little bit. Kind of like I would to do in seasons. So I'm going to put all this stuff away. I got to put the T8 windrow away. Obviously, I got to put this away. That'll fit underneath there. That's good. Don't unfold it because it creates a big mess. Just drop it. Yep. So I'll get the injector on the Deuce Fire. Get him over. Start doing what he needs to do. The T8 should be seeding the small fields with, I have no idea yet. We're able to seed everything the same, and we'll have like a big clean out in a couple days or so. But yeah, I'll see you in just a little while, and we should be doing some work somewhere. Probably the livestock market field. I should be the one doing the injection. I believe I will. I decided to bring the T8 over here to livestock market field. I figured it's going to take them a while to seed this anyways, and I'm going to do it like I did last time, which is why I start injecting it. And when I get the first row done and turn around, or when I run out and go to refill, I'll set the T8 off behind us. I did. We are up to $50,000 because, if you remember, I also bought for this injector the 12-meter wide injector. And of course, now we got the 36-meter wide one. The small one we don't really need anymore since we got... no, that's the wrong implement. We don't need the small injector now because we got the manure spreader. So I said, well, might as well, we'll just go ahead and sell that. Like I said, it's not really needed. I had to repair it. Like always, you have to repair something to go ahead and sell it. Definitely with this. Let's go ahead and get GPS on for this. Get a waypoint set. There we go. Alt R. And then move it over. Why is there an offset? It's because I'm not straight enough. Is it Alt S? Control S, not Alt S. I knew that. Increment offset, reset. Why is it showing an offset? Well, there is an offset on there, and for some reason I could not get it, even though I hit reset, or maybe the new updated version of GPS will show you where the offset is, even though it's at 0, it's still going to show it. Either way, we're off and going and getting a stage of fertilization down. Like I said, when the tank runs out, which is usually, I can probably get like 1 row and maybe like a third at best going. If I remember that, is it 1/3, 1 row and a third? Or is it going to be pretty closest to 1 row? Either way, when I run out, we'll get the T8 up and going. If I can get 1 row done, definitely need to get 1 row done. And then I should have no problem keeping ahead of the T8. Yeah, so we're going to put soybean down in this field, if I didn't mention this before. I think I said canola when we were cutting the grass. The reason why I'm going with soybean is because I have some in storage, like 5,000 liters. I'm like, yeah, we'll just do soybeans. When I harvest it, I can go ahead and get rid of it that way. So yeah, I'm only going to get 1 row done, which, okay, so I thought it was a row and a third, but I guess it's just 3/4 of a row. But we should have enough digestate in a holding tank over here by the sheep pasture. Just go ahead and turn that off, lift it up, fold it up, we'll go refill. Yeah, so when I get I think what I can do is I can, before I start spraying this tank, we'll get the T8 going, but make sure I'm in place and get ready to go. That's all I need to do. Yeah, last time I didn't have, I think I had like 150,000 liters or 140, 2 tankers fulls. And I forgot to keep coming over and filling it up, but should have no problem here. Yeah, I should have plenty to do the field. Yeah, and then in a couple days we'll have a good soybean harvest. But yeah, we got that corn and oats and I forgot. Is that canola? Is that canola? I already forgot. Yes, that's canola. So we do have 3 fields of harvest, and of course our sugar beet field should be ready. Actually, it could be ready later this afternoon if I remember correctly. But my main concentration is going to be get this field seeded and get the 2 fields right over there seeded. Those won't take long at all. And then we can focus on harvesting. Okay, so we are full. Yeah, this injector has saved us some cash on obviously doing some fertilization spreading. Is it going to pay for the equipment before we leave here? Probably not. Haven't got a chance to use it that much. But it's working out pretty good, actually. Okay, get them pretty well set up here. I'll even lower the boom. And now we'll come on down here. Make sure I'm on soybean. Yep, we should be okay. Make sure I just overlap just a little bit. Right there should be good. And he's off and running. And so am I. You know, even though he's seeding at a much faster speed than what I'm doing, I should be able to stay ahead of him. And actually, I think I need to do a headland. I think that's what I did last time. But I didn't prep for that. But that's no problem whatsoever. As long as I stay ahead of the T8, we're all good. Well, I have stayed ahead of the T8. In the beginning, it was just barely. Actually, one time, after I refilled the second time, he was kind of like right behind me, and I was holding him up. I just barely got back in time to finish up that row. I'm going to have to go back to the reservoir and fill up one more time, like I always do. Almost reached the same spot as I think I did the last time. Turn around, go fill up, finish this up, and then we'll go drop this off. We'll grab the loading wagon, head back up to our grass fields, and pick up that hay and put it into our mixer. I'm probably going to be left, because usually when I get done doing this field here, I usually refill this tank up, but I don't think this time I will, in case I want to sell it for the farm. But yeah, we're going to have 40,000 liters left over. So I think we started with 225,000 liters, somewhere in there. So that's how many liters of digestate it takes, or how many liters of slurry or digestate it would take to fertilize this field right here. Minus, I'm not gonna use that much. Probably like half of this tank I'll use. Then I'll leave the rest in it. But it is already mid-afternoon. This day is just flying by. And it did start bright and early at 6 o'clock too. But then again, I did some things before I started recording, so yeah, that's where some of the time is gone. Of course, a lot of the time was going up to the sugar beet field and not paying close attention to the PDA, thinking, all right, well, it's got weeds in it, and so when I go up there, I might as well fertilize it as well. Yeah, I brought the weeder up. Doesn't need that weeder. It needs the other weeder, and I activated. Turn that off. Don't lock in your GPS when you're going fast and you're not quite lined up. It never works. Yeah, when I got up to the sugar beet field, I'm like, oh, stage 2 of weeds. Okay, I got the wrong weeder. And then I realized, how come I can't fertilize this? I kept trying to hire a worker to fertilize, and the worker kept saying, no thanks. And I went to the map, I'm like, oh, that's because you are already fertilized. I knew that. But this field will be double fertilized. Well, it should be. I mean, it looks like it is. And then the only thing I'll have to do is bring the case Puma over at one point, and if I'm on top of it, I can get it with a weeder instead of a sprayer. And we should have a decent yield of soybeans off this field. And that might be the last this might be the last harvest off this field. I forget how many episodes. I know we're in the 80s on Mercury Farms, so we're quite a ways in, and it's time to sell and move on, I do believe. Don't take off GPS until it's unlocked. Here, it's unlocked. Now I can take it off. Now there is a little corner down there that I didn't quite get, but I'm not too concerned about that. Let's go ahead and bring this back to the farm, park it in its shed. Grab the loading wagon, and I should get about 3 loads of hay off that field. What I should have done with the grass field, because I had the manure spreader up there, I should have spread manure on that grass field before I cut it, and I would have got 30% more grass / hay off of it. But yeah, I thought of that when I was spreading the digestate in that field. Now, it's going to be kind of sad when I leave Mercury Farms, because I just got all these sheds down. Kind of got the main parking area, the main farm, if you will, looking the way we wanted to. I never quite got around to working more on the house and landscaping around there. And I don't see myself getting some time to do that either. But I do have some interested buyers into the farm, so it's just a matter of coming up with a money total. Which usually means near the last episode, I pretty much just sell everything that's on the farm and see what the farm is worth. And that's what we sell it for. One thing I did have noticed about this deuce fire, it seems like when I put implements on the back, and especially when I get a lot of weight in the back, the front end gets awfully light. Now, I probably should have a weight on there. You know, that's an obvious suggestion. But, yeah, this seems like the front end gets a lot lighter than other tractors. And you wouldn't think this heavy of a tractor would have such a problem. It's going to be much easier to pick up the hay here now that hay slash grass, just because with all the trees being gone, I don't have to zig and zag here and there. And like I said, I should be pretty much all set for food now for the cows. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to need total mix rations for the cows before we leave. So that's why we're just putting the hay in the mixer and not silage. I don't know if I can sell total mix rations. I never sold total mix rations on any map ever. And that goes way back to... Actually, I don't think I ever did it in 13. I never got the animals on 13. I didn't play 13 for long. I think I only got like maybe 20 to 50 hours on FS13. That's when I started playing Farming Simulator. I pretty much bought FS13 at a real cheap rate because FS15 came out like about a month later. So that's why I was on sale and I bought it. I'm like, I'll give it a try. Then when FS15 came out, I was like, well, I got to buy that. And that's when I got into all the animals and doing total mix rations and all that. But I never have sold total mix rations on any map. Trying to get every little piece that I can. Right, there was a great demand to the livestock market. I don't think I got anything to sell, but I'm just curious what that would be. It's for corn. I do have corn. Well, not in storage, but I do have corn to harvest. That is a really good price. Unfortunately, unless that deal lasts for a while. Now that came up maybe about an hour to about hour and a half in game time ago. So even if it lasts 12 hours, that's going to be in the middle of the morning. So when I mean middle of the morning, I mean I should say more like middle of the night. So I don't see myself selling that corn for that price unless I can get to the field in the late evening hours of the next episode. But I think by the time I finish this up, it's going to be like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That leaves me a couple hours to harvest and sell. So I don't see that happening. There, we almost got our first full trailer. Trying to, like I said, get every little piece that I can. I probably should just wait until the end and pick up the little scraps down there like I usually do. Must be our windrower is not quite wide enough when it goes around the corners to get the little scraps. But we're definitely going to get more off this field than we used to. And I think this would be a good time because I'm just about full anyways. And I'm kind of facing where the mixer is, so let's go ahead and turn the loading wagon off. I didn't even get the chance to even clean out the animals yet today. But since we got more cows, how are they actually doing? So we're almost up to 30,000 liters of milk already. Yeah, the sheep, they could use some water, and yeah, they could use some hay at some point. So next episode, probably have to take a quick look at the animals, make sure they're all taken care of, cleaned out. Water, food, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe get the T8 finished seeding those, we'll start seeding those 2 small fields. And then we'll get to harvesting some corn and I believe it's oats in that big field. We'll do the big fields first, I think. Well, maybe we'll look at the price, the market, and see what the prices are for the oats and corn. And I believe it's canola. I keep forgetting what's in that field. So if there's a good price on any of those 3, we'll do the fields accordingly to the pricing, I think. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. On to our 3rd trailer, and we're just about done here. As we go around the magical tree here. Why I left it in, just to be funny, I guess. And, yeah. I'll never learn lessons. I'll just, I took all the other trees out for being in the way and said, we got to leave 1 tree in, right? That's not that big of a deal. Makes it kind of fun. But now we got plenty of hay for our sheep, and I do believe we should have more than enough for our cows if need be. The cows might require some straw though, but like I said, we'll take care of the animals next episode. We'll try to clean up this just a little bit more. Like I said, our windrower seems to have a little bit of a problem on the corners. Alright, we'll call that good enough. So this will definitely put us over 200,000 liters in the mixer. I think our sheep take about 20 or so thousand liters. But actually I might as well leave the loading wagon right here because I'll be feeding the sheep tomorrow. I could use this, and also the cows will require some. Yeah, so if we go in here, they could use a little bit of straw. They need to be cleaned, and that's about it. Like I said, the sheep, I think, will take about 20,000 liters in total. So about another 15. Oh, sorry, we're down here. That's water. Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, so they may require somewhere around 35,000 liters. That's not bad. The chickens, looks like they're doing fine, but they do need to be cleaned out. And, yeah, no pigs here, luckily enough. Yeah, if the corn price stays good, we might be harvesting that first. As for oats, this would be oats right here. Yeah, Windmill Hill. I think that price is a little bit on the low side. And, of course, we said canola. Yeah, that price is going down as well. I do have 58,000 liters of sunflowers I haven't sold yet. I probably could have sold that when the price was good. We'll have to keep that in mind. I'll probably forget by then anyways. Sugar beet doesn't matter. Whatever the price is, we'll go ahead and sell it whenever. And, oh, that's sugar cane. I was like, what the heck's that? I'm trying to still get used to these new symbols. Milk, prices are not that good there. Wool price kind of stinks. And silage at the bio plant, like I said, we probably will be selling that. Just because I don't think I need that much. A worker down here is just about done. Are you on your last trip up? Yeah, he's pretty much done here. Yeah, he's on his last pass. So, yeah, in the beginning of next episode, I'll probably get seeding these 2 fields right here. They're ready to be seeded. And then we'll be harvesting, I don't know if we'll get to all 3 fields, but whatever these 2 fields I do, I'll do one of these 2, and then we'll do this one right here. And, yeah, and then eventually we'll get up to the sugar beet field as well when that's ready. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you next time on Mercury Farms. But until then, have a good one.